Cookies. No, not those cookies. I mean these. You see them on most sites you visit. You'll probably click on OK to get rid of that annoying box. Or if you're like me, you ignore it and think you're safe from being tracked. But does that actually protect you from anything? Earlier this year, Google announced its plan to move away from third-party cookies to make the web more private and secure for users, while still supporting the businesses of publishers. Other browsers like Safari and Firefox have already been doing so to prevent tracking users all over the web. So, what are cookies? A cookie is basically a simple text file that's stored on your computer, phone, or tablet by a website you visit. Think of it like leaving behind a trace of cookie crumbs everywhere you go. The crumbs contain the website's name and a special ID that represents you as a user, so when you go back to that website again, it knows you've been there before. They're different from caches, which are data downloaded to your computer so images and videos load faster, improving your browsing experience, so you won't have to see this. Cookies are great for advertisers and companies delivering you content. Since they know that you've clicked on certain links or added some listings to your wish list, they can recommend which article might interest you next or which product you might want to buy based on your history. I mean, it's also great for users because you don't want to be suggested a 2-piece eagle eye LED 18mm 9 watts for motorbike lamp and car fog lamp blue color when you don't even care about car parts or own a motorbike. But it might not be great for users who don't want to give up their info about their browsing habits, and that's why we even have those cookie pop-ups in the first place. In May of 2018, the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, went into effect in Europe. It's meant to make sure that users are aware of the data companies collect about them, while giving them a chance to consent to sharing it. It requires companies to be transparent about what information they're collecting about you, and why. But the cookie law is only enforced in the EU, so it doesn't actually apply to everyone around the world. Most websites just have a cookie notice because it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to someone's privacy.
Well, in Malaysia, you have a Personal Data Protection Act. It's actually quite mild compared to GDPR. You have the rights of access to your personal data. It means that you record this video, right? So you have my personal data of this video. I can actually request Vulcan Post to give me that video. So that is the right of access. GDPR have the right to erasure, which PDPA doesn't have. So let's say that now you got my video and I say, oh, you must delete my video. Then you have to delete it. Right, so in Malaysia, it will be like, oh, you don't have such right. I will keep this data forever and ever.
So clicking on OK is essentially giving your consent to the website. What happens if you just ignore it? Many websites have a silent consent method, which is actually illegal in the GDPR. That means, if you simply close the cookie notice or scroll down to keep reading that article, they will mark your action as a consent to deliver you cookies. But there is an option to not agree to it. Depending on a website, your experience might lower a little or not at all, like being suggested at motorbike lamp or seeing articles about babies when you have no plans for parenthood. The list goes on and it's website specific. So how do you disagree to it?
Google, their existence depends on knowing about you. Similar to many businesses out there. You have to adjust in the settings and all that. So what Firefox go with is something like Android. They give you all the tools, but whether you want to use it or not is still up to you. While some like Brave browser is privacy by default. They will go through the codes from the server and any codes that they identify like, oh, this is a cookie code, they will just disable that portion.
Or you could simply go into incognito mode and browse to your heart's content, with no eyes tracking your searches. But don't forget to delete your browsing history from your main account too. And while you're at it, you might as well delete your cookies. Doing so will log you out of your social media accounts, but that's a quick fix by keying in your username and passwords to log in again. The upside? It'll give you a peace of mind knowing that websites and their advertisers no longer have info stored on your computer. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also leave us a comment down below if you have any topics you'd like us to take a look into.